Welcome to the Gear Slum, your one-stop shop for all things guitar culture nonsense. I'm Aaron.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Cole.
And we slum it hard so you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Dong a dong a dong a dong. So, guess the bands I went to see this week. It's a pretty wide swath.
I already know them, a couple of them.
So, Alkaline Trio, right? Mm-hmm. That is right in my wheelhouse. I'd go see them all day, every day.
Mm-hmm. Way up your wheelhouse.
They're straight up my wheelhouse.
All the way up.
Right up in there. Their set got cut short. Both of these were outdoor concerts.
Deep in your wheelhouse.
And they both rained, which kind of sucks. But originally Dance Gavin Dance was going to be touring with Alkaline Trio, and then that fell through.
I know that name, but I've never heard that band.
Yeah,
Are they like?
I couldn't tell you.
Similar. It sounds like they sound like Panic at the Disco. Like that's.
Yeah, I think they were kind of emo, screamo kind of stuff. I can't picture like what their popular song is or whatever. So then Alkaline Trio played, and then the closer.
They're from Sacramento. Dance Gavin Dance.
Oh, really?
Metal from Sacramento.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh.
This is gonna be a problem this evening, I think. So then the headliner was Coheed and Cambria, which is a band that.
So they played after Alkaline Trio.
Yeah, which
nice. I mean, that was the same set.
On one hand, is not surprising. Wait, did you see him? Have they already gone through SoCal?
No.
Okay.
But no.
Okay. You said it was the same set. I didn't know you were. Anyways. So I've never seen a merch line this long. So they basically had, it's at this place called The Complex, which is one of the bigger venues here. But it's just like a big old, they have two venues in the same building, and they're both just like, you stand on the floor and there's a stage up front, you know? Mm-hmm. And so it's a lot of that's where a lot of the larger punk bands play, or that's where Manchester Orchestra played. And when I saw Dashboard Confessional play with Third Eye Blind, that's where they played. So during COVID, I think they started doing this during COVID. They basically would set up a venue out in the lot. And so they were doing that this summer quite a bit. And then all the merch is set up in the main hall, and it was freaking packed with people buying Coheed and Cambria stuff only, as far as I could tell, mostly. And crazy. I think it's because Coheed and Cambria is like a lifestyle band.
Yeah. I could see that.
So they come out. Are you familiar with them at all, Phil?
Yes.
So they all their songs are about crazy mythical, they're kind of like Rush. They get compared to Rush a lot, partially because his voice kind of sounds like Geddy Lee. Is Geddy Lee the singer of Rush?
Because he sounds like a lady.
Yeah, I think so.
But then they sing about all kinds of crazy stuff, and all their albums are concept albums that all tie together, and they have a whole graphic novel, comic book that tells the story. And so then behind the band, they had these two LCD panels that were playing CGI stuff, this, it was some guy falling down into a volcano, and then he pulls out a sword and kills a dragon. And they had this big inflatable, kind of monster with tentacles and all that, an actual inflatable thing that had lights all inside it and stuff. But the CGI was very, we're kind of spoiled with CGI now, right? We see very expensive, very high-end CGI. So when you see stuff that was just a labor of love for Coheed and Cambria, it kind of looked like garbage. It was freaking, you were watching freaking early EverQuest or something, or Final Fantasy VII or something like that.
Dude, EverQuest.
It was pretty bad. But at any rate, I'm sure EverQuest is a terrible example, but they were awesome. And the crowd was just eating out of the palm of their hand. During Alkaline Trio, there was this one guy. We were basically standing right at where the edge of a pit would be, and it would open a little bit and then close back up, you know. And this one kid would just like run into the middle and like jump against someone and try to start a mosh pit, which is like, I love moshing as much as the next guy, but like that's not just like running into the back of somebody who's completely unsuspecting is not moshing, you know. So I kind of like grabbed him and pushed him down and stuff.
You
I'm kind of the mosh. Yeah, I totally.
He probably looked up. He's like, "Oh, dude, security got me."
Dude, I grabbed him, grabbed his shirt, and like his entire shirt just like ripped off.
Oh,
and
sick.
I was like, "Nah, I guess we're even now." You know, you're
So hot.
mad, and it looked like he had just bought the shirt like at the merch thing that day. So, so I felt bad actually after that, but a tiny part of me was like,
That's why you never wear the band shirt to the show, because it might get ripped off of you.
Some big fat guy's gonna rip it off of you.
A great big fat person.
Great big fat person. That's actually my favorite comedy from that time frame, from that era.
Is she like a great big fat person?
Mine is Best of the Best.
I still haven't seen that crap. Oh,
It's so bad.
okay. I have a flight. I'm
watch
flying tomorrow morning. Is it on Netflix?
I think it's on Prime.
Can I download it?
Dude, watch Hard Target, please.
Stop it. Just kidding.
What's Hard Target? That sounds like a porno.
No, it's not.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know.
Okay.
Jean-Claude Van
we're talking
Damme.
Prime. Oh, it's an old. I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not gonna watch a movie called Hard Target on an airplane, Phil. I have some self-respect.
Dude,
Listen.
watch Air Force One
No, he's trying to get you to watch.
on the airplane.
What are you trying to
Yeah.
get him to watch? I don't even care.
Best of the best. Okay.
I'm not
watch
trying
it.
to get him to
That's-
watch it. I mentioned it, and he said I should
so
watch
it's
it on the airplane.
1989. I'm gonna see if I can. Oh,
I'm not like
you have to
working
buy
hard
it.
to convince him to
Nah, I'm
watch
not
it.
doing that. I'll download
Hey,
when
I'm
I hook
working-
up my old computer. I'll download a torrent of it or something.
I am working hard to convince you to watch Hard Target.
Is there
Yeah, 'cause
something
you
else?
don't
Oh,
care
should I
what
watch?
anyone else wants. You
Should
only
I
want
watch
people
Team
to do what
America?
you
Is
wanna
that what it's
do.
called?
Yeah, you should watch Team America.
Team America World Police. Yeah.
But there's a scene that you probably should not watch if you're sitting.
Oh, there's like a
There's
a
a
porno
puppet
scene,
sex
isn't
scene.
there?
Yeah. It's just puppets, though.
Oh, then I'll watch it on an airplane. Little kid sitting next to me.
Yeah.
Dude, I should just watch. I looked up Team America, and of course, it doesn't. It's not on Netflix, but it gives you all these recommendations. The third one or the second one's Anchorman. You got Old School. Old School would actually be a good airplane movie, I think. That
School Ties would be good.
oh, good. I remember watching that when I was like way too young to be watching that movie.
It's like,
We have like those, those bricks that are like concave on the front, and you stack them and then stagger them, and you kinda
they're
you
like what they call them, like, what is it? It's like flagstones.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably. I noticed like some dirt coming out of the middle of one of the cracks,
Mhm.
thought that looks like it's like some kind of nest. So I pull it off, and it's like this insane bee's nest, like totally
Dang.
like My Girl style.
Dude, get Texas bee girl
My
to come
Girl.
clear it out for you.
So I brought it up. Oh yeah,
Just put it on TikTok.
Tell her to- yeah, dude. What else? Oh, we were talking about turtles the other night, and I was talking about there's like that turtle that's on TikTok. Then the channel is basically like the
Racist
owner is
turtle?
like this really cute girl,
Oh, that. Oh,
But that's
I thought you were talking about the racist turtle.
Oh,
Dude, the racist turtle.
but he's only racist against shoes. it
That's
seemed
not
like.
racist, though.
No, he started like
Was it people too?
he started
I
doing
haven't
like
seen-
other things besides
I haven't
shoes.
seen his. Oh, you know what I'm going to watch is Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I haven't
I've never seen
before.
that.
It popped up as one of the recommended. Okay. So I went, so that show was really good. I went with a neighbor of mine. Oh, I didn't say how I got these tickets. I was planning on going to Alkaline Trio all along, but the tickets were pretty expensive. And then last weekend I was in the locker room before my hockey game, just guys being dudes as we are.
Mm.
And I was talking to my friend about this concert I had gone to.
What's nothing better than this?
And then one of the other guys was like, "Oh, do you know who Coheed and Cambria is?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm planning on going to see him next week." He's like, "Well, do you have tickets yet?" And I said, "No, but I'm gonna buy them." And he was like, "Well, I won 2 tickets from a radio contest, so do you want them?" Because he was like trying to win another one, and he happened to win those ones, you know. So he just like sent me free tickets.
Wow.
Cool.
So I took my neighbor, and he had to leave early, so he left right after Alkaline Trio. So I was just there by myself for Coheed.
Mhm.
And I texted my wife, like, I think going to concerts by yourself is actually the move. Like,
It's
that's the way
awesome. I
to
love
do it. Dude,
it.
I was like loving it. You just like can do whatever you want. Like, oh, where are you comfortable? That's where I'm gonna go wherever I'm comfortable. I'm not worried
Dude,
about
it would
anyone
be
else.
even better if you go with someone and then they leave, because like the awkward part of going by yourself is like standing in the ticket line and like waiting
Yeah,
to
like
get
getting
in
there
and stuff.
by yourself, finding a spot or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're in and then they leave,
So
and then
yeah,
you're like,
it
I'm
worked
gonna
out.
just let you hang out. You're like,
It was primo.
sick.
And then the next night, I went with my fellow bandmates to go see the Decemberists. Remember those guys?
Oh, right. Yeah, I do.
And they were really good. I like
They
them a
were a
lot.
terrorist organization, right?
Ugh, that's a different
think-
thing. But yeah, they were good. Their very first song was like heavy on the accordion and lap steel, and I was like, "This is amazing." And then they didn't play the lap steel the rest of the night, and I was very disappointed because that's like one of my favorite instruments. But it was a good show. And part of what we talked about was how my bandmates and I were going to start a podcast where we, like, one of us chooses an album and then the other people listen to it and then we talk about it. And that isn't what pushed me over the edge necessarily, but it highlighted the fact that like I don't have time for any of this. So then we had a gig on Saturday and it was a lot of fun. And then I told the guitarist afterwards that I was no longer going to be in the band. And it was very bittersweet. But I was trying not to be too, like, doing it right after having a fun gig is kind of like, you know, you have like your spouse who's a total jerk to you or your significant other, and then they like do something really nice for you one time and you're like, oh, so maybe it wasn't so bad after all, you know. Like I was trying not to be too like influenced by that because it was a lot of fun and everything, you know. But we played, it was at the county fair, and our set started at 11 a.m. So the only people sitting there watching us were our own immediate family members, which I guess that's what you expect. And they paid us $50 total, which is almost like, just don't pay us at all. Like,
yeah.
And tickets
more.
to the county fair.
That's true. They also let my wife in, which they weren't supposed to, but my wife and son showed up and they were like, well, you're just here to see the band anyways, so just go in. And so
I don't understand charging to go to the fair when everything in the fair costs
so
tons of
Lacey,
money.
like, she said the exact same thing. We were like looking around. She's like, literally everything here costs money. Why did we pay?
Yeah, it's not like
It's like
there's
paying to
free
get into
stuff to
Walmart or
do.
something.
Yeah.
There's literally no free stuff, period. Except
Yeah.
for watching the band, I guess, which is like nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, every booth. And
Staring
it's
at
a lot of
animals.
like it's a lot of like vendors.
Yeah.
A lot of it is like, well, so there's like food vendors and stuff like that, and there's like whatever, you know, like caricature artists. That's what you expect. But then there's people that are just like they're selling their taxidermy or whatever.
Yeah.
Their wood
Like-
carvings or something, and it's like,
Like
why
when we
did
were
I
kids,
pay
there
to
always
come to
used to be
this?
like one guy selling Zippo lighters and like
yeah,
one
dude.
guy
That's where you
selling,
get, or you get like a
airbrush
butterfly
t-shirts.
knife or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Well, not in California, not anymore.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to just ask for it, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Get like
they
the-
have them because they're not from California.
Yeah.
They'll sell you anything.
That was like a big thing when I went on National Jamboree. We went to Chinatown in New York.
Mm.
And of course, like everyone got freaking switchblade, you know, like full switchblades, like single
Yeah,
button, shoot straight out kind of thing. And it's like,
Just like gravity.
the first time somebody sees
Nice.
that, they're going to take it away from you, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. I remember
So-
the first time I was like maybe 6 or 7 at church, and some teenage kid had like a butterfly knife, and he was flicking it around. It's like,
Yeah.
this is amazing.
Yeah, dude.
It was the coolest thing that I've seen
Heck yeah.
before or since.
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys that this was I think this was just last year, and I park my car, I have to walk through the whole campus to get to where my classroom is. So I usually end up walking by a bunch of different groups of kids standing around, like as I, walk in. I'm like, "Hey, how's it going? Oh, good morning." And there's the most remote end of campus is where all the stoner kids hang out, and they're always standing like in a tight a tight group.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Hey, Mr. Eisenhower," and I'm like, "Hey." And this one kid, as I turned the corner this one day, he's holding a butterfly knife in his hand, and he looks at me and he says, "Hey, Mr. Eisenhower." And I go, "Hey." And I took a step and I go, "Whoa." And he was literally just holding it, like showing them like this. And I go,
It was open?
"Whoa." I stopped. No, it was closed. And I stopped and I go, "Whoa." And he goes, "It's just a comb. I swear it's just a comb." And then he immediately like flips it open. And I was like, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man. Like the first
Like,
thought
I
was
thought you were so cool.
Like,
Now I don't.
It was this. It was like the first thought was like, I am gonna ruin this kid's day right now.
Yeah.
Like that
And
was
you don't want to.
You can't
Yeah.
not do anything.
Exactly. And it was like I knew the kid and I liked the kid, and I was like, I can't say, like,
Yeah.
I just saw this in front of everyone. Like I have to, and this is gonna ruin his freaking day. Like probably more than his day, right? Like,
Yeah.
and
Totally.
And then he's like, no, it's just a comb. And he goes,
His uncle's gonna beat him up because it was really his.
Yeah, exactly.
What
"You got my switchblade confiscated?"
I told you not to take it to school, you idiot. You freaking idiot.
Oh, that was all.
Phil,
He's
we
not
never
my mom,
finished
Todd.
your game last time. Do you still have it?
I still have it
2 times ago. Do you want it? Should we do that?
Sure.
I think that would be fun. Cole, what do you think? I know you.
I mean, we should do a game. Is this the only one we're going to do?
Game. We can do. Do you have another one? We can do 2. I don't care.
Give us all the game you have, Phil.
Okay.
Do you got game?
Oh, he got game.
I got this game. All right. I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you. Oh, dude, I thought of this episode of Seinfeld where a lady sneezes, and then George says "bless you," and then the people end up getting divorced because of it. But that also, I saw another episode of Seinfeld because I've been watching Seinfeld, and this is this is crazy. This is not a good. It's not good. So they go to the house of this guy that works for NBC, right? Because they're like they pitched him the show, and they got a pilot, and they're trying to get this.
Look.
They're trying to get the script approved. Yeah, and they set this up like from the start that the girl is 15 years old. Like that's a major plot point. We understand she's 15 years old.
She's very obviously, like, the actress is very obviously not 15.
Right, but in the story, she's 15 years old.
Exactly.
She leans over and shows her cleavage. He nudges George, and then George looks and stares, and then
stares.
They like lose the script because of that. And so then the dude's like mad. He's like, "Okay, I'm canceling your show. I can't work with you." And then they just trick him into looking at Elaine's cleavage, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're right. It happens. Whatever. Everything's good."
Yeah, these are both
Like,
equal.
What?
You know.
Like,
I mean, in hindsight, it makes sense. It was Jerry Seinfeld, right? Like, he obviously.
I know. And then it's brought up in the show. Elaine goes, "What are you doing looking at a 15-year-old's cleavage anyway?" And he says, "When cleavage is involved, age does not matter."
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
Oh.
That is not good.
Have you seen
the weird thing
the
is
guy
I've seen that clip in recent days, and like she is extremely attractive, right?
She's got a like Denise Richards vibe going on. Yeah.
Yeah, like she's just
I thought it
she
was
looks
Denise
like
Richards at first.
she looks like a supermodel or whatever.
Yeah.
But I totally forgot the aspect that she was supposed to be 15, which is like that
It's
one
like,
line
very
alone.
explicit too.
That one line alone is so terrible.
He's like, it's cleavage. You don't care how old the person is,
Dude,
But
that is
you really,
rough.
really should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It's like, wow. And then to like look and then tell your friend, hey, look, we know they knew ahead of time that she was 15. It's not like they found out afterwards.
They're like, hey.
Have you guys seen the guy on TikTok who says, okay, he's like, these are clips from movies or TV shows that don't hold up.
Yeah.
And then, but then what he does,
it's always like, no one will ever bomb the Twin Towers.
Yeah, he adds in. Yeah.
It's always totally,
and it's also like it's also over scenes that like do hold up. Like they aren't scenes that are like bad nowadays, you know.
Well, yeah, they're things that you're like, oh, like you start to watch it and you're like, oh, really? And you're like, I'm waiting for something to happen, and then you like this very obvious voiceover.
Yeah, the Twin Towers will never fall, or whatever.
Yeah, there's this other guy, you've probably seen him, where he does. He's like the impossible to guess movies based on like a single scene.
Yeah, and it says
the scene is always like
the name of the movie.
It's always a person, saying the title of the movie. Which is very funny.
So dumb. I love stuff like that. I mean, it's like it's like, it's obviously not as deep or as like Andy Kaufman or Norm Macdonald, but they're just like making fun of the medium essentially.
Yeah. Impossible to guess movies, like super hard edition.
Yeah. And it's like, we are Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah. Although his aren't like voiceovers, they're actual.
Yeah, it's like the actual.
Yeah. It's very funny though.
All right.
He's like, this is Top Gun.
It's time for everybody's favorite guitar pedal related game. Guess that pedal review. Yeah. What?
Is Aaron still with us? Did he die?
Maybe. This first review, Aaron. I can't start reading the review. Aaron, are you there? Hey.
What?
Hey, Mr. Passive Aggressive.
Did you read the review?
No, I didn't, Aaron.
I was going to try to guess it without hearing any of it.
That's dumb.
Sorry, I was very thirsty and I didn't want to break up the flow of the episode. I apologize.
Aaron told me to start the game and got up and walked away.
I didn't. Actually, I told you to start the game. Then we talked about TikTok. And then you
Shut up, Aaron.
On your own, and
okay, this review is by Mr. Tough Guy. It's a 3-star review titled Disappointment.
Disappointed.
The United States, October 17th, 2020. Pedal brand name gets a lot of love out there, but I am not very impressed. Cool idea for a pedal and makes some great effects. I planned on using it. Was an always on effect style into an AC-15 that has mediocre built-in reverb, but it also adds too much hiss. Anything above 9 o'clock and the hiss takes over. It might just be a bad pedal, but it's the second brand name to add white noise, so I guess I am trying another brand.
It's very
likely
goes not back. White noise, just for the record.
P.S. I did an A-B comparison of all my pedals with the other pedal name, was SCD coned noiseted in terms of hiss. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Phil, do some interpretation here for
Okay.
us.
SCD connoiseted?
Acidicon.
Only a other pedal effect gave more white noise, and my other pedal had considerably less white noise.
Okay.
Ordered an other pedal to replace the other pedal.
Replace another pedal or this pedal?
Not this one.
Is it a reverb?
It is not a reverb.
Is it a delay? Is it like a carbon copy?
It is a delay.
Is it a carbon copy?
It is not a carbon copy.
Is it an analog delay or digital? Do you know?
This would be considered an analog.
Is it the Ibanez delay?
No.
Is it a Boss DM2?
No.
Is it an Electro-Harmonix?
No.
Is it boutique?
Some say it is boutique.
Is it JHS?
Oh, is it the JHS delay?
No.
Is it Wampler?
Yes.
Is it the analog or
the faux tape echo?
It is the faux tape echo.
Oh, but that's not.
That's
I mean,
digital.
it's a tape echo, I guess. I know what you're saying, though. Like an analog delay and a tape delay are two different things, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I love the faux tape echo, honestly.
But
I wonder
it's
which
like
version he had.
So he was saying that
the hiss
a
is probably
different. He was saying that a different pedal by Wampler
was more noise.
was also hissing.
What was the other one?
But it's probably a drive pedal, right? Like that's
Is
mostly
it
what Wampler
ethereal?
Oh, that's a reverb.
No.
does. Interesting.
The ethereal. Or
Yeah,
that might
ethereal.
be like delay reverb combo. Interesting. But also, if you're like running a lot of things in front of a AC-15,
Yeah, like AC-15.
that'll sound hissy, right? Because they're kind of like,
Yeah,
that's just
they
the way
are.
the amp is.
yeah.
So what did he trade it for?
So now he uses a Hall of Fame,
Oh, reverb.
which
Okay.
is yeah.
Yeah, it's like this amp doesn't have very good reverb, so I think I'm going to put a tape echo in front of it.
That's weird.
All right, I guess that's a solution that you can do.
Yeah.
It adds tails, right?
Yeah,
Like it adds a tail to the sound.
it's just funny.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's a good.
Do those
I've owned
amps
that
have an
multiple
effects loop?
times.
I guess not.
Yes.
It depends which one. There's so many versions of the AC-15.
Yeah,
like
I think
the
that's right.
standard
The
AC-15
CC1
C1
or
or whatever,
whatever.
does not. I don't think.
Nice.
All right. Next review.
A Wampler. That's 2 Wampler episodes in a row, guys.
Yeah, dude. Love
This
those guys.
this review is by John
They're gonna
Zuko.
smack our booties.
What?
They're gonna smack our booties. Wampler.
Who is?
Wampler.
Why?
For talking about them so much.
No, dude. When we talk about them, their sales go up.
In a nice way. They're gonna come by and like smack our like baseball style.
Congratulations.
Like attaboy.
Yeah,
They're gonna give us an attaboy. That's very funny.
That can't be on.
Yeah. Sorry, Phil.
Okay. Next review. John Zuko. This
Is that
is
the same?
another 3-star review.
Is that the same dude from
No.
last time? Oh, okay.
No, the other one was
That was
Like
Zon
big-
Juko.
big tough guy.
Yeah, big tough guy. John Zuko, big tough guy, same thing.
So this is titled "Not the Pedal Brand Pedal Effect."
Not the mama.
I seen one review were saying that it sucked the tone out until they learned how to set it up properly.
Oh, it sucked.
With a
tone
separate, isolated power supply. That was their error, not mine. The unit worked perfectly as described. Unfortunately, it does alter your tone like most buffered pedals can, and it does not play well with some other pedals in the effects loop. I was testing this against pedal name, comma, pedal name, comma, pedal name, and comma, pedal name.
Wait, he put the comma after the and?
No.
Oh.
None of those affected my tone.
I was like, this guy's a psychopath.
Pedal brand did.
John Zuko, more like John Psycho.
The pedal brand altered the tone and gain structure subtly, but noticed for sure. Returned it. I guess if you want your rig the crank loud, you may not hear it so much blasting your eardrums. Blasting your eardrums out. But if you try to do any type of studio recording, you're going to notice it for sure.
It's like a compressor.
No.
Is it a noise gate?
No.
Is it a tuner?
No.
Is it a Boss pedal?
Yes.
Is it an overdrive? Some
No.
kind?
Is it a chorus?
No.
Reverb?
Yes.
Is it the RV6?
RV6?
No.
RV5?
No.
RV2?
RV4? RV3?
No.
Space Echo?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, that's not a
The
reverb.
new one?
Space Echo
Yeah,
RE2.
it's like
It's like a tape echo emulator. I guess it has reverb
not
in it.
really.
It's reverb in the same way that like an El Capistan is reverb.
Yeah.
Which is
Like
to say
it
that
has
it's not
reverb
really.
and delay essentially.
Yeah.
But it's not, it doesn't have defined repeats like a standard delay pedal would.
Does it not?
Not really. Well, maybe it does. It's a weird pedal. Heck, it's got a
Is it
freaking
the
mode knob that has 11 settings, and so you have like no idea. Does it even have a label anywhere on the pedal that shows?
Yeah.
it's the big one or the like single one?
It's the little one,
It's
right?
the single.
I'm assuming the RE2,
Yeah.
which is still $250. I think those sell really well though.
Because they have the big one now too. That's like
The 202.
202.
I didn't know that there was a small one. I've only seen the big one.
It used to be white.
Well, the big one's a reissue of the original big one, right?
Well,
This
the
thing's
original one was like
ridiculous, dude.
a big like amp top unit, I think.
Yeah,
originally.
exactly. Dude, this RE202, $420. I feel like this is kind of old though, isn't it?
It just came out.
The RE2 did, but I think the RE202.
They put them both out at the same time, I thought.
Did they?
Yeah,
Maybe
like
so.
because there was like a dual release.
Oh yeah, this is like
this year.
202. That's like new.
Yeah,
It's like just in the last few months.
They put out that, and then the RE2 is like a new version as well.
I was thinking the RE2 was a little bit older than that, but yeah, it's
Because there was the white. It used to be white, right? Like white and green.
Yeah,
And now this
yeah.
is like the new version of it.
Dude, this is a crazy. I haven't seen any other pedals in this form factor.
I was just going to say
of the 202.
I think they have a CE2 that's in that shape,
Really?
or it looks like the old CE2 at least, maybe. So maybe it's like emulating an old version.
Yeah. Dude, so he already got that RE2 and left a bad review for it. I could see like buying it as soon as it comes out. He's obviously excited about it, and then, oh, dude, an MS3. Maybe I'll get one of those again. That's still on their website. Remember that bad boy?
I do.
Well,
interesting. Very cool. That pedal, what is it? I gotta look at the Boss pedals now. Boss CE.
that's what I'm doing.
they have a ton of crap.
I'm wondering, do they have a 202 series, or like how do you look up just that form factor?
Exactly. There's an
Maybe it's not the
RC202.
C2, it's the
There's
Boss.
an RC202 loop station, so they might have other. Oh, dude, that thing is wild looking.
The CE1 is the thing I was thinking of. If you look up like an old CE1, that's a very similar shape to the RE202.
Because like
it's
the
not
500
exactly
series,
the same, but
the 500 was
they
like
have
from a couple years ago.
They have a 200 series too, though.
Yeah,
there was a Space Echo in that same form factor, like back in the day, right? The original Space Echo was like an amp. It looked like a little amp, basically.
Well, it was like
the
a
controls were on the front. It was
like
a wooden box.
I think it was like a tube-driven tape echo.
Yeah, it was like or
like
it'd be like a spring reverb that sits on top of your amp or whatever.
Yeah, but it was like all those old tape delay units were like massive.
Yeah. Okay, the RE20 is the one that
the 20
was
is like
for a long
the
time.
DD20.
Yeah.
The double foot
the
switch
CE20.
one. Yeah. RT20.
So what other 202 pedals are
VE20. I don't think there are any.
Maybe not.
Just a Space Echo.
Maybe this is the first one.
There's a RC202, which is the loop station, but it looks totally different.
Yeah, it's not even the same thing.
No. Well,
but did you look up the CE1, or I can show you a picture of it, but
yeah, it's a similar.
It's obviously like based on that look.
Dude, this RC202 isn't even foot switches. It's like it's like buttons, like rubber buttons. That's weird. Rubber buttons and liquor.
RC202.
Yeah, I see what you're saying about the old school CE
the CE1.
Like it's definitely reminiscent of that. It's not the same, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, the RC202 is like
it's just push. It's like a desktop unit. It looks like.
Oh yeah, it says tabletop loop station.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Last review du jour.
Excuse me.
It's the review of the day.
That sounds good. I'll have that.
This is by the Happy Guitarist.
Oh, that'll be nice.
This is a 5-star review. Lovely level up. United States, April 29th, 2021. Thanks, Pedal Brand and Sweetwater.
Obama.
Amazon too.
Oh.
My pedal name malfunctions after 20 plus years. Act of God? Most likely. I am stuck in my ways. What works, works. This is an upgrade, a big level up, especially with the pedal name add-on. Wow! And year. Oh, and yeah, I tried other brands, but Pedal Brand has this nailed. BTW, I don't like batteries much, but wall warts have drawbacks, wires and noise. Batteries are quiet. And this pedal is quiet. It sounds and plays amazing like a dream. Battery was included as well as a small bag of candy. It's like they knew I have low blood sugar sometimes. Happy Guitarist.
Is this that same guy that used to rail about pedals not having batteries?
No, that was John.
This is not John.
No.
Not John.
Maybe
John
he got happy because this one had a battery. So this is a different pedal than the one that he had owned for 20 years?
Yes.
So he's not like that stuck in his ways.
Updated version of it?
It is a different version.
Oh, of the same pedal though?
Is it a drive pedal?
It is not a drive.
It's like a fuzz, yeah?
No.
It's not any kind of drive, right? So,
but it's an updated version of the same pedal by the same company, or it's like a different, like a clone? Okay.
Was it a Space Echo?
No.
Oh, damn.
Is it a Boss pedal?
It is a Boss pedal.
Is it a tuner? TU3?
No.
Chorus?
No.
Reverb?
No.
Delay.
Yes.
Is it,
DD7.
DD8.
DD9.
DD8.
DD12. Dude, I forgot there was a freaking DD8.
Me too.
Yeah. When did that come
69
out?
points for Cole.
That's like
Earlier this year or last year?
okay.
The
yeah,
DD8
okay.
and the
That's why.
DD3T came out at the same time.
Yeah.
So he had a
We talked about
DD6
the
for
3T.
20 plus years.
Oh, the DD6 sucks.
That's the one that nobody ever
Yeah.
talks about.
Well, the
Yeah.
DD6 you cannot do external tap. So
And
the
that's
only
why
way
he's blown away by, he says, especially with the Roland X pedal.
It's so stupid because the 5 you could plug in a tap tempo pedal. Also 7,
Yeah.
but not the 6. It's like they had it, they took it away. So the only way to get into
Yeah, what did
tap
the
mode
6
is
have
like
on it?
you had to like hold the pedal down and get into tap mode, and then you could tap in
Yeah.
the tempo. But when you're in that mode, you can't disengage the pedal.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't.
That's how like
Then
the
you have to hold it
flashback
again
worked.
to turn it off. Is
Remember, that's
it's
how the
insane.
flashback
It was
was.
so stupid.
There was like a generation of pedals that had the like you had to just hold down the button.
but they had already had it. And then
The
they took it away.
DD3T is just
It's just
but
a
it's because
DD3
it's
with a tap
stereo.
tempo input.
It's because it's stereo. Well, like I guess they took up the spot.
Yeah, but some of their pedals have 3 jacks on them.
Yeah, like the DD8.
Yeah, or you could just do like a TRS jack. It's like
Yeah.
anyway.
It is
it's
a
dumb.
weird. It is like such. I feel like it's a pretty fundamental feature to have on a delay pedal.
Well, if you're gonna have tap tempo, it has to be easy to use. Otherwise, it's pointless.
Yeah,
And then it just
totally.
becomes a frustration.
Remember
It's
the
like,
remember the flashback series that had the, or there were a couple TC pedals
we could strum the tempo in.
where you strum the tempo.
Yes, I had that because I had the X4 for a while. And it
I
had
couldn't
that.
get it. It never worked very well, but it kind of worked. Like it was a cool.
Yeah,
It's kind of a cool idea. I mean, the idea is that like you could do it while playing, but it's still like
because then you just hold it and you strum.
yeah.
So you're not have to like hold it, get in the mode, tap it in, get out of the mode.
Get out of it to turn it off or whatever.
So could you like actually physically like use your fingers and tap on the pickups?
You could, yeah, I'm sure.
Because I feel like,
yeah, I mean, it's just like any spike in the signal. That it's
Yeah.
looking for.
because I feel like that
I mean,
It's
tapping
not
your
always
fingers on the
usable.
Pickups wouldn't be.
well, you know what I mean, like bang your fist on the strings.
Sure.
I could
Or you
see
could just
using
strum
that
it with
sometimes.
your guitar pick. Ooh. Like, does it work if you do it in a less practical way? What if you like lay the guitar down and then
Yeah,
like,
why are
do
you
it with
trying
your
to make
teeth?
That's why I was confused. I was trying to figure out like what you're shooting for.
I think he's saying. I think in Phil's mind. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to guess. I think the idea is that you're like tapping is
It's a
you'd be more
clearer
accurate
signal.
with the tempo than like if you're strumming it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's easier for
It's
the
about
pedal to
accuracy.
interpret it or whatever.
I'm
well, it's
thinking
easier
like,
for you to like tap it incorrectly.
I'm thinking like
Not incorrectly,
the
but
strings.
tap it correctly.
muting the strings, like like slightly, and then like
yeah.
the way
Well, that's what you would do. It's like you're like palm muting it or whatever, or like you hold
Yeah.
you mute the strings and then just like strum just like a scratch.
the
You're
way
not,
like a
playing
guitar player
chords.
will like count in a song.
Yeah,
a band?
that's what you would do essentially.
That's what I would. Yes, that's what
That's
I would do.
I mean that's what,
essentially.
but that's what it's designed to do is what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying I would do.
I'm saying that you're asking if you can do the thing that it's designed to do, as if it's
And
not
you're telling me
designed
that's
to
what
do
it
that.
does, and I appreciate
Yeah.
you finally telling me.
Well, you started by asking if you could tap your finger on the pickup, which is not the same as muting the strings. And
Or is it?
I mean, not exactly. I guess they're not mutually exclusive, but
Okay, if if the game show host tells me, okay, you've got 3 options, you can mute 2 strings.
Do you understand that, by the way, now, Phil?
No. I mean,
you really don't?
I understand everything that Cole says and nothing that Aaron says.
But do you understand why you have a better probability by switching?
Yes.
Do you understand why you have a better probability by switching?
No.
I figured out the
You're the
problem
worst.
that John Waite was having, and I think the problem that everyone else has is when you talk about probability of choosing something and saying, like, okay, I'm choosing one between these 5 things, so I have a 20% chance or whatever, you have to assume that they are randomized. And as soon as the host gets involved, they are no longer randomized.
Yes.
The host has information that he is using. So you just have to get this idea out of your head that, like, oh, now I'm choosing between 2 doors. Probability doesn't even enter the equation anymore. That's like if I told you, hey, suitcase 1 has $1 in it and suitcase 2 has $1 million in it. Which one are you going to choose? Well, I have a 50-50 chance. Like, no, you have information now that you didn't. Like, obviously, you have a 100% chance of getting the $1 million because I told you which one it's in, you know. Like, it's not random chance anymore. And I think that's the thing that hangs up everybody is they assume probability, like, you know, equal probability between the choices when that doesn't exist. It only exists when they're randomized, which they only are at the beginning.
Yeah, because the door's not being opened at random. It's a specific door.
Exactly, because the host has rules. He can't open the car and he can't open your door. Yeah,
I was reading about it too, and there's a whole thing like, depending on if the host like is more likely to open the door on the right than the left. So like if you pick door 1 and it has the car and 2 and 3 do not, like, is the host more likely to pick door 3 than door 2 because they're like biased towards the right hand side?
Yeah,
which would then also like change the odds, but that's kind of.
But I feel like even that wouldn't be enough to trump just the overall odds increase you get by switching, right?
No, but so if you pick door 2, then the host would never choose door 1. They would always choose door 3 to open, even if door 1 is empty. So it like does something. It like does change things, but
that assumes
such a convoluted way.
That assumes something about the host that you can't assume.
Right.
Like the only thing built into the equation is
exactly.
I think like the actual Monty Hall problem, you have to assume that the host is just randomly picking if they're both goats, right?
Right. Yeah. You have to. Yeah.
But the easiest way for me to think about it is if you're either choosing one door, it's either behind door 1 or it's behind one of doors 2 and 3. Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to. Because if you're choosing from the beginning and you know you're going to switch, if you choose door 1, then if it's behind 2 or 3, you win.
Yeah.
And if it's behind 1, you lose. That's why it's a 66% chance.
Yes.
Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship. Smile.